These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a Week 1 matchup between the Sleepy Slimes and the Belfast Bunger Brigade. We got some interesting talent to showcase here with, I believe, 4 rookies on the side of the Sleepy Slimes and somewhat of a familiar team on the Bunger Brigade with some new faces. We're going to start map 1 on Samoa here and see just what comps they run out on, because Sleepy Slimes have 7 players and Bunger Brigade looks like they only have 5 here right now, so we'll see. Let's go into the game here. And I'm casting with Nqthyn as the color analysis. So yeah. Strudel is the host of the lobby. He is. Yeah, Nathan said prod R a few moments ago, but yeah. For in the meantime, I'll give you a little sneak peek of the lineups. Need to be ordered. Do you need the people to be ordered? Right, the tank, and then. Okay, cool. So the Sleepy Slimes, they've got Firestar Boss on tank with Tukipuk and Goku DPS and Silver Towels Flambeau Jambo support. Wait, what? Oh, Flambeau must be ringing for someone.
He's ringing for Teehee, I believe. Or no, Muffin Lumps, I mean.
I was gonna say, can anyone ring for T?
Yeah, that's my bad.
And then the Bunger Brigade have the lineup of Yak Tank, Foost, and Melon DPS with Wiggle Higgle Nuttier support. So, what are your initial thoughts here, Nathan? What's speaking to you about these comps?
I think I haven't really seen much of Tank from Yak. He's mainly a Genji player, so it'll be interesting to see how he does on the Orisa. Most likely is what I saw him on last season, and then just a lot of question marks on these rookies here. 3 rookies on the side of the Slimes and 2 on the side of the Bunger Brigade. So we'll have to see how they do, because I have no idea anything about any of them. So should be interesting to see.
It's like we're getting a pause. Okay, never mind. So pretty much the same comp, and by pretty much I mean the exact same comp. They're gonna fight up top here. Looks like the Slimes are engaging first. Boost is gonna see if they can get a little flank going. Just a lot of cooldowns being exchanged here. Nothing really happening so far. Tukipuk gets an opening pick onto Foos with the Tracer duel right there, and it looks like the Slimes might be edging their way to point, getting the advantage here. Yak falls, and that'll be a retreat from the Bunker Brigade. First point goes to Slimes.
Yeah, just a really good opening pick from Tukipuk onto the enemy Tracer Foost. That really opened it up for that fight there.
Oh yeah, I bet they're going to be looking for the exact same thing here. Foost is actually engaging from the side on Tracer as the rest of their team comes in. So, a bit of a split attention here. Looks like the Tracers are marking each other and the Orisas are doing Orisa things. Tukipuk takes out Foost again in the Tracer duel. Melon is contesting the point by themselves and will die. So now it's a 3v5 with the 5 favoring the Slimes. And as the Bunker Brigade try to back out, they get wiped out with leaving only Nuttier alive. So that's 2 fight wins in a row.
Yeah, Tukipuk just with the opening pick twice in a row, and he finishes off the Sojourn after Firestar Boss forces the slide. Just a really, really good showing from Tukipuk on the Tracer here. And they're going to have the Pulse Parasurge combo here. Let's see if they can execute that. Probably going to be looking for that on the left side here pretty soon.
Oh yeah, if the Slimes ult first here, they might be able to just stagger this entire point. And so Kitsune from Silver Towels will force the Bunker Brigade to back up here. Tukipuk hitting it from the back, but he gets taken out by Foos this time. A lot of ults being used. Double beats traded. They gotta get to point. Okay, Foos retreats a little bit. And another pick onto Goku, so that looks like the Bunker Brigade might just be cleaning up the point here. Firestar Boss trying their best to stall. You know, Orisa Gold is pretty impossible to kill, so look at a few percentage there. Tukipuk is back and does take out Foos though, however. I don't think they'll be able to 1v4, but Wow.
I think that just came down to ult usage there. I think Tukipuk got a little overzealous with the pulse bomb, and it was a good rush at the start, but Tukipuk ended up getting picked, so they couldn't combo that Terra Surge pulse.
However, they are already 2/3 of the way to another pulse bomb though. So pretty impressive. Melon opens with an overclock. Kitsune rush as well from Wiggle Wiggle. Oh my goodness. The slimes are backing up and looks like they're not going to spawn, they're going to spawn. That makes sense.
Yeah, they just ulted first there with the Kitsune rush and the overclock. But that isn't a bad fight for the slimes here because they ended up having an ult rate of 2 for 0. So it looks like they're going to have the ult advantage coming into this fight.
They did have that extra point cushion, so it's about a 40% gap, which will be by the time they engage. Overclock by Goku. Firestar Boss looking to use ult here from Orisa as well. We'll tie up Yak. So now all the space is on the side of the slimes. Goku does get stuck by Foos, that's a big stick. And Yak takes out Flambo Jambo, so the slimes are going to have to back up here and probably reset for final fight.
They just weren't able to get anything with that overclock or the Terra Surge there. And Foos ends up hitting a really big pulse onto Goku, which really opened up that fight for them. But now we're going to the next fight. The slimes have their Kitsune rush.
Foos has no recall, and Tukipuk is on... Oh, narrowly escaped. But you're right. One ult fight on both sides here. It's Kitsune versus Beat. Final fight. Kitsune is used. We'll see when Beat's used by Nuttier, if at all. Get Beat used. Both teams just kind of focusing on a reset. Nuttier does pick out the Sojourn on Goku. With Melon gets a follow-up pick on Flambo. No one's going to be able to touch. They're just sitting there.
Oh, and that's just disaster from the slimes here. Lucio died 98 to Beat. They just couldn't get it off, and with the beat from Nuttier, they were able to just push in, capitalize off of that, and get the pick on the Flambo, which won them that fight there. So really good beat from Nuttier, really good kite from the Bunger Brigade on the Kitsune rush, and they were able to take it there.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, if both teams are mirroring comps, it comes down just to who's more disciplined with cooldowns and ults. And you saw that the slimes had more of like a all or nothing ult approach, while the Bunger Brigade kind of used them in pairs and ended up in Bunger Brigade's favor. Bunger. So second point of Samoa coming out here. Same comps. Oh, Goku actually is on the Venture instead of Sojourn, so it's a bold choice. Both Tracers going at it. The Annual Orisa walking at each other. Goku does fall right away at the Venture, and that'll force a retreat from the slimes.
Yeah, we just saw Goku like dig in and usually use the dig to disengage, but he used it to engage, and it didn't look like they're all on the same page or walking in.
Yeah, no one was with him at that time, so.
Yeah, we definitely need to see either Firestar Boss walk up when Goku does that, or maybe Goku just needs to play a bit slower.
Yep, both teams engaging on each other again. Yak falls very low. Goku is in again with no dig anymore. He falls dangerously low and he dies. Yak with a nice Orisa ult. That'll probably take, Flambo Jambo found dead as well. And another just kind of holding W from the Bunger Brigade is the slimes have no answer. I mean, if every fight's a 4v5, it's not really going to be that close.
I mean, they're just so close to ultimates. I think they just need to play a little slow with Terra Surge and Kitsune Rush coming up. Like, we could have saved, or we could have just played slower. We didn't need to dig in, but yeah, that's all that fight came down to. They just need to wait for ults a little bit.
And Goku does burn the dig burrow as well, but Flambo with an opening pick onto their Tracer and boost. Beats are exchanged. Just kidding. Nuttier still has his. They might use it here. Both teams just kind of vying for the space. Trades are pretty even so far, but the point will be flipped in the slime's favor. And only one ult used for both sides. So
yeah, it was a very good fight from the slimes. They were able to just get the pick onto Foost, I believe, early, and then they just use the beat to close it out. Very solid one ult fight for them on the retake.
Yep, here comes the engage from the Bunger Brigade, but oh my goodness, the Slimes are running them back towards their spawn. Beat from Nadir, but it's not really going to help that much. Space is still being controlled by the Slimes, and Silvertails actually falls. So it's a 4v5 here with 4v4 now. Boost is taken out by Tukipuk again. Yak is ulting, he's taking very much damage, but he actually gets 2 picks with that, and the fight will be flipped back again in the favor of the Bunger Brigade.
Yeah, it looks like Tukipuk's been definitely getting the better end of the Tracer 1v1 here, but I think Yak with the Terra Surge and the Javelin afterwards was able to close out that fight. So really good plays from him. Able to pick up 2 in that mid fight there.
Yeah, and the Slime's not looking too bad. They got 2 ults to the Brigade's 1, but the time is ticking down 80% as opening ults from both DPS. And it's just kind of a stalemate right now. Venture's putting out a lot of damage, but the overclock's keeping him at bay. Goku digs in yet again. He will get booped to the wayside as the other fight goes on point. Tukipuk gets an opening pick on the Melon. Kitsune Rush used from the Brigade. Trying to even it up, and they will not even it up as the beat from Lambo Jambo secures the fight and the point flip.
Yeah, unfortunate. Well, really good play from Tukipuk, able to get the opening pick there, but the problem with the Slimes is they use 2 ults when they're already up 2, so they're coming up at a... Wait, I just tapped it. Ult disadvantage here, it looks like, with 2 ults on the side of the Bunger Brigade. Whereas Tukipuk...
I think that... Oh my... A stick onto Silvertails, but Suzu cleanses them. The Bunger Brigade are advancing at a dangerous rate as they take down both supports of the Slimes. The Slimes are backing up, but you have to touch the point. Goku taking in yet again. He's a monster. Who's he gonna find? Just kind of poking from the back. Tukipuk does fall. Points even up at about pretty much 1 fight, no matter what. Ults are exchanged from both sides. Support ults being used. Firestar Boss is back on the Doomfist. Goku somehow never died. I'm not sure what... Okay. Horizontal from Yak. It'll take down Silvertails, and it looks like the Bunker Brigade will secure this map win. Which they do.
Yeah, definitely was a scrappy fight to touch, but that first fight, we were just 98 to Kitsune Rush. We just needed to chill a little bit, but they weren't able to kite the Bunger Brigades engaged there on the high ground, and they were able to get the support kills before they could build their ults. It was truly tragic here.
I wonder if I may, they Sleepy Slimes, if you don't know at home watching, are captained by a manager, so there's no like in-game captain presence right now. So I wonder if they're just, you know, lacking like a shot caller or someone. Like as you said, the first map they were less than 5% away from beat and didn't get that off, and then the second map they were less than 5% away from Kitsune Rush in the same final fight. And then you just have to wonder if someone on the Bunker Brigade, like Nuttier or someone, is just making those calls and the Slimes aren't.
I think it's for the Slimes, their individual play is a lot better than the Bunger Brigade. We see Tukipuk constantly getting the first pick over and over and over again. But yeah, I do agree. Like a lot of the time, they're just not coordinated. They're not. I don't think they're fight planning. I don't think the Slimes are that coordinated either, because you saw Goku go in with his cooldowns, and like Firestar Boss would just be, you know, chilling while Goku's like 1v5ing their backline. So I think I definitely agree with you. If they're just a little bit more coordinated, if they just plan their ults out a bit better, I think the Slimes can definitely take this. But that's definitely where they're struggling here.
I gotta, yeah, I gotta agree with you there. I was impressed with, like you said, it seems like the individual skill of most of the players and the Slimes is greater. It's just that I know the Bunger Brigade, a few of them have played on teams before together. And so, maybe that prior cohesion from past teams is coming into effect here. It is the first week of the season, so they don't really have any synergy built up. It looks like next map will be King's Row, chosen by the Slimes. And we'll leave you with that to send you to a map break real quick.
These beats are the purest.
Hello and welcome back to map 2 of the Sleepy Slimes versus the Belfast Bunger Brigade. This map will be King's Row in the hybrid type, and we will see some roster changes from both teams coming out here. The main core is looking pretty much similar, but both teams will swap in and out some supports. Actually, never mind. The Slimes are not swapping anyone, it looks like. Instead opting to probably save that for map 3, as the Slimes technically only need to play each player one map. Actually, no, since they only have 6 of them here, so they'll have to play Dino twice. But I'm just gonna ignore that. Looking like probably the same structure, but it is King's Row. And the Bunger Brigade do substitute in Jack for Nuttier, which is a bit odd, not because of the two players, but the hero pools and the map pick. So what do you think? What do you think they're cooking, Nuttier? Not Nuttier, Nqthyn.
I'm not sure because I would imagine that they would want to keep Nuttier in for the brawl map because well, you usually want your Lucio specialist in when you're playing brawl, but it looks like we're gonna have the Mercy Lucio ball comp coming out from
I
the
have to
Bunger
imagine
Brigade.
that's
That's
a troll.
probably, yeah, probably gonna see some swaps, but it's very interesting that they decided to put Jack in here.
Okay,
There's
Moira,
feeling of blame Moira.
Orisa, May actually, and both teams have an odd comp. So the Slimes have a Ram, Reaper, May, Lucio, Moira. I have to imagine Goku's calling that comp. That's a very Goku comp. That's like we just need to play fast and run into them. Ice Block burned by Goku, and he will punish for that and die. So the Brigade will actually be able to walk in here, and they do have more staying power with the Orisa, and Tokipuk is out of Wraith, and he's out of life as well. And it's like an easy point cap for the Brigade. I mean, they've only burned 45 seconds here.
Yeah, just a interesting play from the Slimes. I thought they would want to play statue and bait them in a little bit more, but they're holding that close choke, and Goku ended up getting punished for it.
Oh yeah, and Goku is actually getting punished again as we speak. He will fall again. Seems to be I don't want to hate on my man, but it seems to be a recurring theme lately. So I'm not too sure about the Ram into Orisa, because I just know that Orisa is just better at this current point. But both teams do have Moira Lucio, so it's Moira Lucio May, so it's pretty similar in that regard, though. We'll see what happens here as Streets is about halfway done. May ult is used by the Brigade, and they'll take out Fire Star Boss. It once again, like what we said after map 1, it looks like they're just not coordinated whatsoever.
And yeah, they did lose the fight, but also that's two big ults out for the Bunger Brigade, the Blizzard and the Coalescence here. So
Ult used by Yak. Reaper ult used by Tokipuk. Cole from Silvertown. They're using multiple ults like near their spawn, and it looks like Goku gets 2. So the Slimes will take back one fight and hopefully stop some of the bleeding from the cart progressing here, but they still have 4 minutes on the time bank by the time they'll go back for second fight, or next fight, so...
I mean, the Bunger Brigade just had 2 on cart there, but we decided to push past the choke and use our ults, and they ended up getting punished for it. Turns out taking a 3v5 is not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, and like you said, now the ult banks are swapped, kind of. Fighting this upward battle, and the Ram will be sped in here. Mail from Goku used. Not finding anyone, but Firestar Moss does get an opening pick on the Sojourn. But Yak trace it by killing Flambeau, and they're pushing the cart behind them. Jack is falling way too low. He's got to die here. He'll go one tap by Firestar Boss, and it looks like Brigade are backing up yet again. Only May ult used there by Goku, and they might get these staggers. Actually, they will. Goku takes down Foos, and Yak falls to Goku as well.
A really interesting fight. I think each team had like 3 or 2 ults, but only, I guess, just because the Slimes decided to use their Blizzard, they were able to win that. He didn't get anyone in the Blizzard, but he definitely was able to split their team, and the Slimes were able to take advantage of that. But now we have 4 ults coming in from the Slimes, and 4 and 5 coming in from the Bunger Brigade, so let's see who can use those ults first and win here.
Oh, and there's a few opening here. Sojourn ult and Moira ult. Beat from both teams, actually. And Yak is alone. Someone help my man. He will get turned on. Boost uses the Blizzard and a nice walling them in. That's got to turn the fight. No, Tokipuk with the Hero Reaper ult. But he will fall for his troubles. A big brawl on point here. Both teams are kind of split. Yak uses his Orisa ult to secure the Flambo Jambo kill, but Silver Talos takes down Foost with Moira and Mei just making the best of this. Goku's kind of coming out from his hobbit hole and he falls, actually. Yak is so low, though. They will get the point here, so it'll set the 3rd point, but what an effort.
Yeah, almost an insane clutch from Silver Tails and Goku, but at the end of the day, the Bunger Brigade used 5 and the Slimes only used 3, so it was hard for them to beat them there from the ult advantage.
Yeah, and Tokipo gets picked by Melon right away here, so I'm assuming Car will push halfway to the end here before the Slimes can even take another fight. And the Brigade are just knocking down the doors of their spawn right here. They're really just keeping them corralled in this corner, and Yak's got a devious Orisa ult he's gonna pop here. Oh my goodness. Flambo Jambo is 1 HP. Firestar Boss falls. If they're not careful, they might just not be able to touch here. And Yak does fall, but they're gonna need a big blizzard, which they only got 1, but the ice block used to negate that. And the Mei ult in the mini room. Firestar Boss will use Ram ult to hopefully control the rest of his people here, and looks like the last remaining member is backing out. So I'll count that as a fight win for the Slimes, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, it was a very chaotic fight. Definitely some hero plays from Tukipu, getting two picks, sliding to point, getting touched, and that was a good play from him. But we'll have the beats and the OC coming in. Never mind, not the beat anymore. And the OC from high ground is coming in.
2 picks from the Bunger Brigade already, and the Sleepy Slimes are on their toes here. Tukipuk falls down. It's just Firestar Boss left. A beat to keep the Moira alive, and Flambo Jambo's just getting tossed around. Tries to find a boop off the map, does not find it. Goku touching Sojourn ult from Tukipuk is coming in. Does not find anyone, but oh. Nice boop from Wiggle Higgle to secure that.
Oh,
130 time bank.
An absolute disaster from the Slimes. Their only ultimate that they had, their beats, was instantly taken at the start of the fight, so it was really hard for them to win that after
Yeah.
Foos pops the OC on high ground there. So
Now,
it was
are you
very hard.
like, when you're spectating those fights, are you like near the front of the fight? Because I'm not, and I don't know where these people are getting picked from, but they're just dying. Okay, so I've been received word that Flambo was wall riding maybe a bit too close to the sun, and and he just said in chat, apparently Lucio cannot wall ride around that bump at the top, which I'm assuming is what he's referring to before he died.
Unfortunate.
The Slimes are yet again plagued by the disease of whenever you're within 10% of an ult in a critical fight, you are not able to use it. So
Yeah.
if they can get past that, I think they're looking kind of good, because again, there's great talent on that team. It's just they're not meshing as one.
No, I think another thing is it comes down to their team composition, because they have Ram and they want to play fast with Reaper and Mei, but it's hard to play fast when, you know, Orisa can just negate all that aggression. So definitely a composition diff.
Goku's trying for an opening pick on Widows, accepts defeat, swaps to Mei, but it'll be a bit late. Again, we saw Firestar Boss on Orisa last map. I'm not quite sure why the Ram is being used here. It's probably a call from someone. But they will engage the left side of statue here. A lot of abilities being used. Nothing really happening, just space being created as the Slimes head through the library here. Melon is getting a little cheeky little back angle here. The fight's underway. Oh, Goku is in no man's land. It's a story told as long as time. Goku will fall. It's a 4v5, and there's not much hope for the rest of them as the Bunger Brigade kind of clean up the rest of these stragglers.
And that's the thing about Orisa is, like, when her cooldowns are up, like, she's an actual raid boss, it's really hard to be aggressive when Orisa has cooldowns. So Like, if Guku could just survive a bit longer.
I know we're okay.
We've been
I
on
was
the
gonna say,
cooldown.
man, we're picking on Goku a lot, but he dies again first. Really questionable considering he's on Mei and has an ice block. But the Sleepy Slimes are not bothered by this, and they're going in with ults. Just 4v5. Another one popped. Tukipuk is overclocking, and the Brigade will just hide in the library. Goku is trying to come in there. Boost uses his Blizzard, does not find anyone. However, Lambo is separated and he will die. Goku's coming in from the side. Wiggle Wiggle is on his sights. Kind of a split fight here. Every ult is being used in different parts of the map. Yak is getting 2, and it's just him versus Goku and Firestar Boss. But he falls, and the point is maybe going to be captured unless Foost has like some sort of hero gene right here. And then realizes it might be overzealous and backs up. So 4:30 time bank right now for the Slimes. What do you think, Nqthyn?
It was just an unfortunate blizzard. He instantly died when he used it, and they weren't able to kill the Sojourn that got frozen. And
Yeah.
they were able to, the Slimes were able to kite it very well, and then the Annihilation mid-fight just took everyone out. And then we'll see the beat coming up. Portal's very close from the Slimes, so...
Yeah, Slime. The beat from the Slimes though is not. Oh god. A bit of a late beat as Firestar Boss gets taken out before it's even casted, but decisive fight win for the Bunger Brigade. They do use 2 ults to get it, but again, I think that's just a miscommunication. Like, you know, you're Lucius on card, you can't really take a fast fight, and you see the teamwork of the Bunger Brigade already. They notice that and they take the corner right there. And who is up there? Oh my god, Jack is in, but they get Flambo Jambo, and he dies. Cole is used by Silver Towels. Oh, that was a good slow right there. And Yak is trapped. Back against the wall, he will ult. Goku is trying his best to walk him down, and he gets him. So, nice fight win by the Slimes. They only use Cole. And the Bunger Brigade use Cole as well, but with their results. So, maybe one more
Yeah.
fight coming up here with 3 ults versus maybe 2.
It was just a huge coalescence. He was able to keep up his team, who were pretty much all critical, and then cleave 5 for a couple seconds. Definitely able to get them that fight win with just the goal, just because of how good it was. But we'll have a lot of ults coming from the Slimes. See what we can do with those.
Tukipuk opens it up. Oh my god, there's like 4 ults used. Both Blizzards. Fruce is frozen on the high ground somehow. Firestar Boss gets frozen as well. He's getting pumped full of damage from the Sojourn, and he dies. Tukipuk trying to slide out, does not achieve a successful back out. Silvertails might live here. I'm assuming yes. Okay, so disengaged there by the Slimes.
And that's just what happens when you play Ram into this comp. Not only is it Orisa that he's playing, it's also Mei. And Ram's one of the only tanks where he has very little options to get away from the Blizzard. So it really came down to him getting frozen and getting killed in that fight. So good Blizzard from Boost.
Oh, an opening pick by Tukipuk onto Melon, so Sojourn cancel out there. Beat is used by Wiggle Wiggle, and Yak will take off Lambo as a return. And it's kind of like a split fight here, so it's a 3v3 again. Yak is using the Orisa ult on Firestar Boss, walking him down, and like you said, Nqthyn, last fight, the versatility of Orisa versus Ram. I mean, Ram's kind of just, you know, if he's got you in his sights close, he'll be able to do a lot of damage, but Orisa's just able to control like all parts of the map. And
Yeah, and once again, like, really good individual play. Like, Tukipuk gets the opening pick, but, you know, Yak's able to go in with that Orisa ult, and they're able to go in as a team to close out that fight. So, really good team play coming in from the Bunger Brigade.
yeah, I'd look for Sojourn from both sides here. So Melon opens it up. Goku's actually advancing on Foost, stuck in the high ground here, but Melon realizes that and helps him out. Firestar Boss walking him down with the Ram ult, but Orisa is pushing him away. More ults being used, and it's kind of like just making them back up. Boost does fall to Tukipuk. Tukipuk gets 2. And they're kind of Probably just gonna have to touch here to get some of the time bank out. The tank is alive with both supports though. It is Orisa. We'll see what happens. Oh, Firestar Boss is cut off. They're not punching though. Oh, their team's back. Oh, all 5 are back. It's a 5v5 right now. Ult used by Jack. Dooku's forced to use Blizzard. That's big. And Foos returns with his own Blizzard. Oh, the Orisa pull into the Blizzard. That is huge. And that decides the map. They don't even touch. They can't touch. They're frozen. Wow. That was some insane coordination with the Blizzard and the Orisa ult. Or maybe that's just Yak kind of being a smart aleck, but jeez.
Yeah. Once again, just big coordination, and I think Tukipook got a lot with his overclock in that fight before, but at the end of the day, if your team's not coordinated, if you're not using ults together and going in together and stuff like that, it's kind of hard to win. So really good team play from Yak and Melon, I believe, who was on the Mei. Just
Boost.
able to, or Foost rather. So
Yeah.
just really good team play overall.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if they can take that team play into the third map here. I'm not sure what the Slimes are going to choose. You will have to get some different players in here, but I guess the gamble of putting Jack in for this map actually paid off. The Moira was either keeping up or doing, dare I say, better than Silvertails, who's, to my understanding, much higher player. So pretty impressive showing there. We'll see what happens with map 3, but for now we'll send you guys to a break.
These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it. These beats are the purest. Prove it, prove it.
All right, here we go with map 3 of week 1 of Aurora, season 5. Coming in with Sleepy Slimes versus Bunger Brigade. Bunger Brigade are up 2-0 against the Slimes, and some heavy roster changes, legitimately this time. So let's review those quick. Melon will be on tank for the Bunger Brigade with Jack and Yak on DPS. And then the support line is Wiggle Wiggle Nuttier, which is the same as map 1. And for the Slimes, they just sub in Simply Dino for Silver Towels.
Yeah, so Jack is more of like a Sombra and Pharah player, and then Yak is a Genji player, so it makes sense that they're rolling out on the dive here. So that's probably what they're going to run. And then on the other side, the Simply Dino swap. He mainly just plays Kiri, so we'll see Kiri instead of Moira as probably the only switch up there. But yeah, we'll have this Rissa comp into Winston comp.
I'm just scratching my head here why they're on Orisa this map and Ram last map, but you know that's okay. We'll see how it works. So definitely a heavy dive from the Bunker Brigade and like a kind of a combo meta comp. No combo, just the meta comp from Sleepy Slimes. Goku gets taken down right away. Goku dying first yet again, but Bunker Brigade will probably push the advantage here. Engaging with a nice Sombra hack on the Firestar boss. Sombra gets booped off the map though. Nice boop from Flambo Jambo. Nqthyn trying to get another boop of his own, but Monkey does dive into backline. Nqthyn with another kill on the Tookie Pook. This guy's a monster. He's going for he gets Suppy Dino too. Oh my goodness. And that Firestar boss kind of just left to die.
It was a really good opening pick onto Goku, but the Slimes are able to stabilize and get a pick of their own, and then Nqthyn ends up killing too. So really good hero plays from Nqthyn, able to turn that fight with 2 picks.
Yeah, I mean, theoretically the Orisa comp should hold their own against the dive comp here, but like we said in the other 2 maps, they're not really coordinated as Yak. Except a first pick onto Goku yet again.
Unfortunate.
Oh my god.
It looks like
push bot. Yeah.
The Bunger Brigade are gonna have their ults first. They're gonna have their Kitsune, so definitely a big ult advantage.
Yeah, they can secure that fast spawn here, but they're not even gonna touch the bot. Yep, fast spawn secured. Nqthyn with a nice little confirmation beat for the monkey diving in. Goku's trying his best. I think he's gonna get hunted down for his pelt here. There's 3 members of the Bunger Brigade after him. I think it's Joe over for him. Okay, he dies. That one gets traded out though, so no tank for the side of the Bunger Brigade. Does have EMP. I don't think they want to burn it, but a smart play would be just to save all your ults here and benefit from the fast spawn.
Yeah, we see 4 ults coming up from the Sleepy Slime here. They were able to get the early pick on the Firestar boss, but then they took a staggered fight and Melon got picked, so they're able to push them back here. But let's see how they can use their 4 ults here. Hopefully not all at the same time.
Cuckoo is dueling Wiggle Higgle, recalls, and runs away as the Bunger Brigade take out 2 of their team members, both supports. And Cuckoo's left to die last this time. I think it's just like there's a lot of issues for the Slimes here. Not just coordination, but just target focus. So they're really hung up on this like the DPS line, but really the only answer is just focus the monkey with the Orisa, I think, and just a lot of ults being used. Slimes enter with 2 here, and the Bunger Brigade will be forced to back up. Jack does fall first. Goku's working on a little pick here. Melon's kind of alone and very low. Does die. And so maybe some bot progress here from the Slimes coming up.
Yeah, these fights have mainly just been coming down to like who ults first, because the Slimes are able to use OC and Rush to secure the kill on the Jack, and then the fight before Jack.
Lambo Jambo is way deep and does die. So any hopes of the Slimes having another fight here might be lost. Oh, a nice stick by Goku on a nuttier. Firestar boss ulting nothing. And it's pretty even here. Space was made. Bot is approaching fast spawn pretty fast. But they just don't have the health to get it there with their supports being dead.
And yeah, I mean, I think what happened was they tried to combo the Terra Surge and the Pulse Bomb, but the Pulse Bomb came first, and the Terra Surge didn't pull the people into the Pulse Bomb, and
it's interesting.
It was a disaster. But now we're on to the Diva. Probably will be a better counter dive. Gives Firestar boss a little bit more mobility to counter dive here.
Yeah, the Diva swap coming out from Firestar boss, but Tookie Poke falls first by Melon. And they got a good amount of ults they can go in with. And by good amount, I mean 5. So, like, the fight's looking not good. Sleepy Dino does fall too, so the Sleepy Slimes don't really have anything to answer here. They're gonna be crossing 100 meters pretty quick if anyone actually wants to push the bot.
And the discipline from the ult usage from the Bunger Brigade, I'm really impressed. Like, they have 5 ults. I expected them to use a lot of them, but they only used the Kitsune Rush. Really clean fight. I would imagine someone's leading the fight planning there. That's
oh, they've got to be. EMP coming out here. We'll catch Goku. He dies. Pulse Bomb onto Firestar boss just for good measure. So we were just lauding their discipline, and then they use 3 ults at the same time there.
And yeah, there was just a 3 for 0 ult fight there. And so if you're on the Slimes, you can't be too sad about that fight. You got 5 ults coming up, so they still have hope here. They could definitely turn this with a really good ult economy if they don't blow them all here. Let's see.
Yeah,
their ult usage is
we need
good
some
here.
discipline from the Slimes here. They'll start the engage here. Firestar boss kind of choosing to fly into the Tracer on Yak, but he gets out with his life. Beat engaged by Nuttier, answered with 2 ults from the Slimes. And it's kind of a scrappy fight here. Wiggle Higgle is getting dove by Goku, but he's kind of just ignoring him. But the Slimes do pick up 4 kills to send that to a 5-1 for them. Did use 3 ults in the process, but you know, with 3 minutes left on the clock, you're kind of looking for any momentum that you can gain here. So
yeah, I think they made that was not a bad fight for the Bunger Brigade because they only used their beats.
Wait, hold on here quick. Yak is in the back line looking to hunt down Lambo, it looks like. I didn't realize he never died, and he takes out Goku! Oh, God. Okay, continue.
Oh, that's just unfortunate. Where did he die? In their backline?
In their own spawn's mini room, like by the first fast spawn, if you know what that is.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just
wrong part of town.
comes down to Yak. He's
Who's
really good on the
soldier
Tracer and
now?
Genji. And
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing, but
It is
I
hard
truly
to
think
pick
the
that one.
slimes just don't have anyone calling, so they're kind of just seeing what works. They did swap onto Cass as well. Jack with a nice EMP. That thing like it's 4. Beat returned by Flambeau Jambo. They're gonna try to aggress here onto the side of the Bunger Brigade, but without a tank, can they get it done? Goku falls again to Yak. Pretty even still though. Firestar Boss is engaging on a nuttier. Nice eat from the Firestar Boss on the Yak's Pulse Bomb, and they should be able to get these 2 kills. Melon comes in, maybe he'll primal. Nah, he's just gonna take the L. Smart move.
Yeah, a bit of an unfortunate fight for the Bunger Brigade. They use 3, and when Jack EMPs, Melon is like 200 HP, jumps in 200 HP, and you can't really do that when, you know, there's a D.Va that's going to counter dive you, so that's really what that fight came down to. They just need to
Oh
wait
no,
for
Goku.
Melon to heal up.
Goku's getting eyed by Jack here. Oh no. He lives for now, but Melon picks up the opening pick and a Tookie Puck, and all that progress is for naught as the fight is swayed in the favor of Bunger Brigade. I've seen this play out too many times tonight. It's a team kill from the Bunger Brigade, and the clock is just ticking down. We're at 1 minute left now, and they got to make up about 75 meters of progress, 70 meters. So
Yeah,
it's
when
not
you're
looking
down, when you're down meterage on push like this, it's really hard to come back. You need to win a lot of fights, but the Slimes do have 3 ults to the Bunger Brigade's 1 ult, so it is still turnable here. Let's see if we can get a rush going.
Monkey dives in
Need to
early.
fight.
Does not have the primal. Tookie Puck with the massive high noon to take him out. And Yak in the backline again. This guy's kind of a demon looking for Goku. But Flambeau Jambo beat it after they were up 3. I'm not sure what that was, but they still have some ults though. I mean, maybe that's
just-
cope by me,
That's
but
disaster though, because you need the beat.
yeah,
to counter
you need
the
that beat.
EMP.
You need to hide the beat for the EMP coming up here. Jack is. Oh, don't look at Goku. Okay, he's ignoring him. He's gonna EMP here. This gets 4. Confirming beat by Nuttier. They'll start with 3 picks. Firestar Boss does get Melon, but he's the only one left, and unless the self-destruct kills 4, nope, kills 0, and decisive 3-0 win from the Bunger Brigade here. That's not very close in the last 2 maps, dare I say.
Yeah, it really did come down to not having that beat for the EMP. The EMP hit all their backline, and it was really hard for them to stabilize after that. They got a lot of kills off of that, so it's really a disaster coming out from the Slimes here.
Yeah, I think it's just they're all kind of. I mean, we were praising their individual play on map 1, but I think that's what got them taking 3-0 here. They're not really on the same page about anything. You know, target calls, hero swaps, comps, and so they kind of need someone to step up. And if someone already stepped up, they need someone else to step up. I do think the Bunger Brigade are a strong team. They're definitely, I think, like a top half team, but still, you would expect more than a 3-0 here, especially if you've got, you know, the flexibility of the Slimes here. They didn't really change anything up much at all. So maybe that's something they can look into.
They were down their main SR sync, Teehee, so that really limited the amount of comps they could run today. So we'll see what comps they can cook up with Teehee next week. But I think it's time that we choose our MVP. I have a few people in mind, but what are your thoughts?
MVP of the Bunger Brigade.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got 2 choices, I think. I'm gonna say it's between Nuttier and Yak.
Yeah, I personally thought it was Yak able to, play the Orisa into the Ram very well. A lot of huge terror surges, and was able to do a lot of work on the Tracer as well. Just the flexibility alone, I think, for
Yeah, I
me,
gotta give it
set
to
that
Yak
memory.
then. And we've received word Yak is not in the VC, so Yak will receive the MVP, but we'll just bring in Nuttier for the interview. All right, Nuttier, we gave the MVP to Yak, but we're
So
told
I
that
heard.
he's not there. So,
He left immediately
um,
and said he was tired. So
I mean, after his performance, I think he needs some rest. But I guess what was your expectation going into the game, and what are you thinking after?
I mean, we had one scrim and we were like, we were getting rolled on some maps, but we were looking good on others, kind of just figuring out what was working, what wasn't. So this is kind of a continuation of that, and I think we kind of found out what worked. Like first map took us like 3 fights to kind of find our groove, and then we just kind of, held the pedal to the metal for the rest of the match.
Yeah, once you found that, I mean, it was looking a little rough in that first point of Samoa, but or after you guys got on the same page, it was night and day, and able to shut them down. But I'm curious about your like flexibility as a team. You're able to swap. Seems like everyone onto different roles. So you thinking you got like a main roster, or
we've got like the basically 2 different tank variants we do, where we got either we can run Yak tank or Melon tank, and it just kind of depends on what we want to run. So Yak's got like really good like Doomfist Zarya, right? And if we want to run something like a monkey, we can put Melon in. Although Yak was kind of being forced to swap to the Orisa due to meta, but and then like we can't run everybody on highest comp if we have Melon in, but we can still we can actually get higher on that comp on SR wise than our main comp with Yak on tank. So it's just kind of like figuring out when we want to swap people around, right? So we can do Melon tank and we can have like Jack DPS, or we can have Yak tank and we can go Jack on support or me on support, and then Foost probably just plays DPS the whole season and Wiggle plays support.
Yeah, the flexibility on this team is looking really scary. And another thing I found pretty scary was it seems like you guys were on the same page a lot, and you guys were, not, when you guys had 5 ults, you weren't burning all of them. So I could definitely imagine some good comms and some fight planning. So how do the comms look for the Bunger Brigade?
I'm not gonna lie, our first scrim comms we were definitely figuring it out, but like I think really after the first round of map 1 tonight, the comms really picked up. That was like very helpful, because like even when I was like I try to make sure like the comms are flowing or whatever, and even when I got subbed out on King's Row, like our comms were still really good. We were calling when we wanted to go in, what else we wanted to use, fight planning, stuff like that, what else they had. So it was looking good. It really helps, I think, that Melon and Foost have played together and they're familiar with each other. So they kind of know what to do. And
that's got to be the missing puzzle piece, because I said that you and Yak have played together, but the rest of you guys haven't. So that definitely answers the question, because especially when Melon and Foost were the whole night they were on synergistic like roles to each other. So we definitely saw that in action. And so basically the Sleepy Slimes looked pretty like everyone was doing their own thing, and then you guys looked coordinated front, so it's looking pretty dangerous. Nqthyn, do you want to ask the tried and true?
Yeah, sure.
I guess it
so
is weird because
yeah, it is a bit weird, but Nuttier, if Yak wasn't the MVP,
if I couldn't
I
be
guess
the backup MVP, who would be the
yeah,
backup MVP?
who would be the backup
third string MVP.
I guess.
Okay. I think we actually talked about this. I think it's Melon.
These beats.
I think really for me, the map 2 and 3, I think Melon really popped, and map 1 they also did really good too. But like map 2 on KR, they were like absolutely pounding on Sojourn. I remember one fight where they got walled off by the enemy Mei, and instead of trying to get out, they just popped Sojult and killed 3 people. And I was like, wow, I did not expect that at all. And then map 3, like they were really calming and doing a really good job to like find a spot where we could engage on and like find people out of position to jump in on. So I think Melon was a big difference maker tonight. So I'd give it to them.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that. I mean, you see that when you get to the higher ranks, everyone's kind of different individually, but it's kind of that split-second decision making that separates people from each other. And some people are, you know, more passive, and more people are aggressive. And I'd say Melon's got a very good grasp of when to be both. So, thanks for doing the MVP interview.
Yeah, thanks for prodding, guys.
Yeah, no problem. I'm gonna send us out then. So, this is the week 1 match of Aurora Season 5 between the Sleepy Slimes and the Belfast Bunger Brigade. I've been Corey and alongside Nqthyn, and we'll see you for our next match.
Bunger.